know I said I was going to get the other room sorted out first and move this all over before trying some of the other modes, but I'm kind of impatient and I want to have a play. Laser and camera. Get the old snazzy glasses out. Always protect your eyes. So I've had a bit of a clear out, stuck a new desk in the corner. We'll see whether I can fit the enclosure on here. And the printer is currently printing away next door, so you might be able to hear the occasional noise from that. As I said in the last video, it is really loud. These are labels. 24 A350 1, 2, 3, 4, and also 4, just to make things confusing. Well, thinking about it, I think I might turn the desk 90 degrees and have it in front of the window. I don't see this working, having the doors up against the wall like that. So I'll quickly change this around. The printer's finished its job, and then we can drop this on top and continue. Still not great. And this thing is just so big, and it does seem like a bit of an oversight to only have the moving doors on one side. Same thing with the display holder. I feel like that should be able to be on either side. My next problem is attaching the other side perspex is going to be pretty difficult where it is. So after precariously hanging it off the edge of the desk, I was able to get around the back and put the back panel in. And the top does also have a filament hole. So I should just be able to push this bushing in like that, so then I can mount the filament holder somewhere else and feed in from the top, which is a much better option than having to go around the back. So it's now several months later, and I finally had a chance to use this machine in all of its configurations. And a large portion of that has been spent making small modifications to try and make this a little bit easier to work with. So starting out with a filament storage. And because the filament holder is supposed to go on this back corner and just sort of hang off the side and feed the filament in through that back panel, this doesn't look all that great, but it works. So the first things were making these. So without too much tinkering in the slicer profile, it's done a really good job printing these. Now these are done at fine detail. So the tolerances are pretty good right out of the box. And the printing quality is really good, especially for this kind of stuff, if you don't try and push the speeds up. And I also said last episode that I wanted to test the differences between slicers and see, does it make a difference? So these two pieces are done with Luban, the slicer software that comes with the printer, and this is done with Cura. Now, this is a test piece, and you can see it didn't really do all that well. Bearing in mind, the filament is quite old at this point. Like I said, it has been several months now, so maybe fresh filament could have had better results. But this fine detail stuff isn't all that great. When you compare that to this, it's kind of hard to believe they came out of the same machine, but that's what makes me think that it's a filament rather than the printer itself. But the quality isn't actually all that important, as much as it is I wanted to see what the difference between the slicers were. And these are basically identical, even to the stringing that comes off. So considering the result of this, I will be doing this test again in the future. But as I say, fresh filament, and just leaving it at the default profile settings, you can get really nice results. You just have to be patient. Now for the CNC. So this was a test I did using the CNC for the first time. And you can see it does a really nice cut. Obviously I had the scaling wrong for the bit size and obviously the workpiece. But like I say, it was a test. I just wanted to learn more about how to set things up. So you've seen the finished product of the final one that was good. That came out really nice. While I've not had too much CNC experience with it, using a V bit to do really fine work turned out really nicely. I also got these printed feet. Now these were printed on this machine as well. It's such a process to take one bed off and put another one on. So this was a step towards making it so that I could leave the heated bed on the machine and just clip this on top when I wanted to use the CNC. Downside is that the sharp profile there did mean that the wire kept catching and pulling over. Now as you can see, I have been using the laser module recently, but that is with this one instead. So my first experience trying to cut with this 1600 milliwatt laser is this. So I was trying to cut some of these animals out for a friend. Yeah, this is only 3mm plywood, and on 100% laser power, it just wasn't cutting through. This one does quite easily. So I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of this going forward, but I'm obviously not getting rid of it because there definitely will be a purpose. And as you can see, I just put an old phone on a mount so that I can use the IP camera app, monitor all of the work that's ongoing. So there's still a few more mods that I need to do in order to get the most out of this, and the laser module will be getting its own video coming up soon. So if you've got any questions or suggestions or anything you want to see me make with this, leave them in the comments below. And thanks for watching. See you in a bit.